Alright. I don't have water. So, I don't have water. Gotta get some water. I have no tea. I have no fruity beverage. I'm out of tea. We finished that yesterday, raspberry tea. I have no fruit punch. I got no nothing but the elixir of life. Hit that hydration station. You been drinking enough water? It's starting to warm up now and we're closer to the sun than we lived before. It tastes good. I go up to the water shack. Oh, my light. My little light. Production. Where's that grip at? That'd be great if I could be heard. I have the AC on and it gets kind of loud. But hopefully I can be heard. I was in, by trade, I'm IT professional slash mechanic slash, anyway, I'm jack all tirades. And, I do all kinds of stuff. And, yeah, many times I do many things at several things at once. Or consecutively, I should say. Not at once, but consecutively. Anyway, hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heelka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. It's kind of getting hot. It's kind of getting warm out there. Toasty. But we did have cloud coverage the last couple of days, so it's less hot. It's less hot, so it's manageable. It's not as hot as it is in Omaha. Hell, it's like freaking gonna be 100 degrees in Omaha. I hate that crap because it's so humid. Like the air, like any moisture, like evaporates and then just sits there in the atmosphere. Humidity, man. People you would talk about how you could take a before I ever lived there. I lived there 15 years, so I became full aware. Benny just locked himself in the bathroom. Full aware of the taking a shower and then drying off and cleaning up or getting ready to go, and then you leave and you step outside and then you feel like you just got out of the shower again. Benny, you're not a little dog. He does it every time. He acts out when I start doing my talk because he knows I'm not paying attention to him. And he's my problem child. He's cantankerous. He's a good dog. He's a good boy. When it's like in the hot part of the day, if they all just lay on the bed, they'd stay cool, but they go wandering around and so they get all hot. So I was thinking, with all the frickin' man, I haven't been scrolling through social media much, but the times that I do, man, violence is just, it's doing what I've been frickin' seeing for frickin', like, all people gotta do is the work, and then the future won't come out how it's looking, but people aren't doing the work. And it's like, where are these fucking kids, these punk ass kids? Where are your freaking parents, man? Where are these kids' parents? Where are their parents? I mean, these people I'm seeing videos. There's and I can't say this too loud because I don't want to get mom to get upset, because she hears stuff like this, she gets upset. So I'm trying to vent to other people and not her. So a guy freaking on the sidewalk, and I think it was in New York, a couple thug bitches, little assholes, don't have any ambitions in life but to freaking one punch. The guy died 5 days later in the hospital. It's like people don't understand, how fragile the human body is. I mean, it's resilient, but it's fragile. So, this is one of the babies. This is the one that likes to sit on his mom's lap. It goes over. This is the leg climber. It'll climb up the leg. My leg. But that's what I discovered is that, like, I came in from letting the dogs out, from walking dogs, doing a walk around, and look, a little black toes. Bloop. And this little cat is on mom's lap. And I've seen it. It's like I've come home, cat's on mom's lap. I'll be laying down, get up, cat's on mom's lap. And it's just like, what's the deal? And this little critter has found mom. And mom likes it because it's like, you know, it's not a replacement for Sassy by any means ever, but it's nice for her. She loves watching him, you know. And this is why I was thinking about that today. I haven't been on Instacrap because I got locked out of my account. It's a bunch. I have like 4 accounts, 3 accounts, 4 accounts. But like my main one that I've had the longest, Turtle, got phished. So somebody logged in and like spammed, and then you lose your stuff. Nothing belongs to you in life. You just get to borrow whatever it is you want to borrow. And if access is revoked, then access is revoked. I guess people shouldn't get so attached to things, right? I'm talking to myself too. So I logged in the other day because I can do it from the I can't do it from the app, but if I do it from just the website, then I can log in. And I logged in, and I saw that my niece Alexis had graduated from 8th grade, and I'm just like, bless and release. I hope she has a good time. You know, I'm just like, because you know what? You know why I think the world is going to pot? Because it's easier for people to just get, like, because my first knee-jerk reaction, honestly, like, my first, what I fight every day is like, I'm hurt, so he needs to equally hurt, because I'm hurt, because I'm 48 years old and we're still left out of freaking shit, you know? And it hurts my feelings, but it's easier if I just come on here and say, it hurts my feelings to not be included, because being spiteful, that comes back on me. You know, I can't do anything. I can't say. I have no say. You know, and I'm so disappointed I'm not disappointed. I have the potential to be disappointed if I focus on it and not just look at it as I am where I am supposed to be. Because if I don't, I can easily slip in the vibrational frequency of resentment, and that is dangerous for me. I like to drink a lot. I don't drink because I like to drink a lot. And when I drink a lot, my ego is in the front seat. God, ego, easing God out. God is not in the front seat. God is not in the front seat. When I drink, my ego is. And that is when I blow things up. That is when not literally, figuratively. That is when I figuratively blow up my life, because I'm hurt and I don't care. I'm not going to get my way anyway. But, you know, so that's why I don't do that, because I know how I act. Or I've acted historically. And, Mom would always give us choices growing up, you know. I kind of feel like Joe Dirt in that respect, you know. It's like, is that how you want to be? Is that how you want to show up in life? Is that how you want to be remembered? The person that acted like that? Because there's so many people acted like that. I really want to know, where are these people's parents that are freaking And then and then because I'm an empath, man. I don't like seeing people die and stuff. I've seen plenty of like that, but like these people coming in, walking in, they got a gun, and then homeboy at the register, he's got one too, and at close range, he's like pop, pop, pop. You know what's troubling about that is that it I mean that's there is like no regard for life in either side of that. There's just neither of them care. I mean, like, it's just. But once all these freaking nut jobs just shoot each other up, this should only take what? A couple years. I mean, like, the stuff I see with like the fights and the violence and the brawling and stuff like that. There is nothing good to ever come out of that lifestyle. Ever. I should be like that. It's my propensity to act like that. I grew up, people didn't get their way, they just get violent. I grew up around might is right. And everywhere I look, people are like, it's not though. See, I didn't go toward that. I didn't go towards the shadow aspect. I didn't, succumb to all of my environments of all the years I've been freaking bullied and tormented and freaking treated like shit by a lot of people. Most people think are really swell human beings. I'm like, dude, I see the fucking shadow side of everybody. I see the light side of everybody. I also see the shadow side. And people love to show it to me. They really do. They really, really do. It's freaking ridiculous, man. I really don't know why people just mostly can't be good to each other. I've been trying to figure that out my whole life. You know? So I've been trying to figure out what that's why I got out. I did 6 years in the United States Air Force. Because that's all I could fucking stand. Because my personal constitution was better than theirs. Misappropriate. Dude, it has nothing to do with policies. It has nothing to do with procedures. I was talking to the lady at the hardware store this morning when I went and got a couple more bags of concrete for the fence. I'm like, all this stuff is like, they throw keywords out. They throw catchphrases out. They put conditions in play and then they throw out catchphrases like inflation. And then all these people are like, yeah, we could raise the prices because somebody says a word, right? So everybody, gas is up to what? It's gone up. Last 2 times it's jumped like 20 cents. They don't even ease it into, they just freaking ram you now. It's like $4.77. And that's just because they can. All this is, people set the prices, they could keep them low. They could stop, but it's all about money. And it's all about making money. And that's what it's all reindeer games. It's reindeer the whole economic system. The whole system of economics, money. All of it. It's all a reindeer game. It's all made up. And it's all contingent on who's in charge. Freaking how they feel that day. Which day their wiener's leaning. If it's leaning. Yeah. It's a gross freaking world we live in. It really is. And it's all freaking driven by freaking people's desire for power. And us poor people, every state, us poor people, we don't have fucking places to live because the developers that have really shitty ideas, they're buying up all the fucking property and then they make fucking crap for a few selected people that are going to come and live there for a couple years because it's fun, it's trendy, and then they'll move on to something else. And then it's going to fucking ultimately end up run down and fucking beat down, and maybe the poor people then will be able to allow it. I mean, this world is fucking obnoxious, man. It's ridiculous. And people like me, it's just like, I am not a violent person. I grew up in a very, very, very violent environment. I was raped as a 10-month-old baby. I know what evil is. I know what evil does. And that's really great that the majority of the freaking people that I ever grew up around with have been so fucking sheltered that they don't even know that this shit exists. That's great for you, but now you're getting a taste because it's touching everybody, because it exists so much, and people just either they profit from it. I said that's why this stuff is allowed to happen, because there's so much power related to it. But if there's people like me, I don't give a fuck about power. I don't care about money. Money is something that I gotta use to satisfy people so I can fucking live. It's stupid. If I could figure out a way to live completely without money, I absolutely would. But I don't. I'm like, whatever, God. I mean, you're the one with all the power. Do it. Whatever. Whatever. Is he panting? Is he breathing heavy? Or is he breathing regular? Huh? Got fans on all over the place. But you don't hurt people. You don't. I think about how different the world would be if people just didn't hurt people physically, emotionally. You don't get, when I've been a part of a lot of, I've dabbled in a lot, like religions, alcoholics and all this stuff, all of this spiritual programs, just forever looking for this peace and serenity. I found it. I get it. And then something happens and I freaking out of my grasp. But then I get it. I have it a lot. And people don't like me. Aren't that advantaged in that way to get peace and serenity. And but I just keep thinking about like how violent people are getting and how mean they are. And that just all I know, and it's just how I've been my whole entire life. Like, I break up fights. I'm so tired of seeing these freaking violent outbursts on these cameras and stuff. I know a lot of them are like cameras that are like on houses, security cameras and things like that are recording stuff like that. But when to the people that freaking are recording these like incidents and engagements with their cell phones and just sitting there and fucking recording it. Dude, see, I have never, even when I was a little kid, mom's getting kicked off she's down for the count. We lived on the second floor. Larry beat her ass. She was down. She wasn't going to get back up and say that one last thing again. And I'm freaking walking towards her to help her. I'm like 7. Right? I'm 7. And I'm like, because he was drunk, I'm like cussing him out, and he's doing the hand on the forehead thing, and I'm like swinging at him, and he's just laughing at me because he's wasted, and you could just see the demons. You could completely vacant of spirit's gone, his spirit is gone, and all the demons are playing, and he just looks at me and he laughs, and he kicks her over the side. And I heard her go, that poof. I know evil, man. I'm so happy that so many people don't. You're going to get your chance. 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 Because the trick in life is, if you're lucky to live, see, because I'm one of those, I didn't think I was going to live to be 30. I didn't think I was going to live, I didn't think I was going to make it to, I didn't think I would. I didn't care. Life has never been fun for me. It's like, whatever, I don't go out looking for trouble, but it always manages to find me, I assure you that. And, I'm coming up, I'm knocking on 50's door. Knock, 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 knock. I'm 48 now, and I just think, if you're lucky, then what happens? You have all the people that have just like, how many people have what they have because they had to screw somebody over at some point? Or they've been freaking a liar or a cheat or something. You know what I mean? So they don't have it, like, fair and square. That's my point. Or they inherited it. or they started their own project, their own stuff. There's all this stuff that is just like the battlefield, the playing field ain't level. And it's just, the world has just been, yeah, I get life isn't fair, but it should be unfair because of just nature. But when so many people have a hand, there's so many people in like government or offices, you want to get a permit for your business? I remember you from the grocery store. You're an asshole. Sorry, too bad you can't get that permit. It's all that shit. The world is just like rules, regulations. There are, people don't follow them. They do what they want. Look in the media. Just skim through the headlines of all the people that are getting busted for, look at all the people stepping down. A lot of university heads stepping down and stuff. Bunch of freaking people, man. You get people that are like mental, just like, like never really expanded past, I don't know, 14, 15, 16 years old. They never like, and they're in their 50s, 60s, 70s, however old they are now, but they never, like, they never evolved past like 15, 16-year-old. You're seeing it, you're seeing them all out, you're seeing the repercussion of that. I think that's what happens when people are just completely fed what they want. They're just given everything they want all the time. See, I had to learn discipline. It's in my placements too. I mean, I'm Aries, Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Cancer, Rising, and Mom always impressed upon us the consequences of our actions, positive and negative, and that everything you do, there's a consequence. If you don't do this, there's a consequence. And I barely graduated high school. I got a 96 on my ASVAB, but I barely graduated high school because I would procrastinate. I hated tests. I disassociated. I had heard too much traumatic events happen, so it's like when traumatic, and then a test would be a traumatic event because it's a measurement of my aptitude. Am I as good as my peers, or am I dumb? And for a lot of years, I thought I was dumb. But I just didn't want to learn the stupid book shit that they did. I didn't want to freaking be a human parrot that just regurgitate, It's like, why is that a measure of my intelligence if I read a page and then write it in a different sequence of words as I interpret it, somebody else's stuff? Can I go outside and play? That's stupid. All this stuff that they would, and I would question stuff, and it wouldn't go. I'm one of those doesn't do good with authority, because the people that are put themselves and stack the deck to put themselves in the position. Dude, these people are not in the positions of authority because they're people of fucking integrity. It's because they pay people off. They blackmail people. They're all shady and shysters, every single one of them, and none of them aren't. They all are. Man, what this whole world has come to is just like a bunch of freaking $20,000 suits freaking ruining the planet because they really don't have good ideas. They really don't. Their ideas aren't good, and they're all based on economics, and economics aren't real. So marketing and charts and freaking pie graphs and this and that, and it's like, dude, none of that fucking shit matters because the cracks of society are only getting wider. And more people are becoming in a bad way. But it's all by design. They want people to suffer. If they didn't want people to suffer, people wouldn't suffer. I mean, they freaking lollygag, these little freaking, that's all government is to me. Old people, and like they write something down on a piece of paper, and they put it on the table, and they push it across the table. And then the old fucking fart on the other time, completely untouched with freaking anything relevant, Picks up that piece of paper, looks at the piece of paper. Nah. And that is what Congress has been doing as long as it's existed. It's not intended to help. It's created to hinder. And people are fucking sick of it. I don't condone violence. I ain't big on violence. I ain't big on, and no, that's the thing, is their ideas are not good for themselves either. They're absurd. That's why it's like, I can't even believe that people are co-signing this shit. But just like the lady and I were talking about today at the feed store, is that there are so many people that profit from it. Not profit, but benefit. I call it from sucking Uncle Sam's dick. Because all the military members that did 20 years, killing people in countries we had no fucking business being in. It's just like, I was in from 2000 to 2006. I knew somebody gave me their experience back in 1996 of what Operation Desert Storm was. And then 4 years later, I was in the Air Force, so that was just like a 4-year. So it was like his interpretation, and he was a gay guy. I thought it was totally straight. He's my roommate in Sacramento, Michael, like those little brown boys. But he was just like, he was the one that explained to me gay while away. I was pretty naive about a lot of stuff too. And then I started to freaking going by my read on energy of people and not what they said, because because when I speak, I don't say just a bunch of bullshit. That I don't make stuff up. I've never been a big old fabricator of stories. I say a lot of the same stories in here, and they're pretty close to like the same story. People get tired of hearing my stories because they're the same stories. I get tired of saying them because they're the same. I want to make some new stories, but what was I going with that? My train of thought totally derailed again. That happened last night too. I bet it always happens about the 30-minute mark. Kind of conditioned to talk for like 30 minutes and be like, okay, I'm done. But we're seeing what people's personal constitutions are, and therefore, and a lot of them are for themselves. And that's the thing. That's why I'm like, the world ain't as big as everybody sees, as everybody says it is. There ain't no way there's 7 billion people on the planet. Ain't no way, dude. They fucking lie about everything else. They're not telling the truth about freaking the number of pop. There's what? Nope. So they lie about that, and then they just lie about everything. Oh, I wanted to finish that earlier thought about how much easier it is to live in resentment, to just be mad and want, because it's like my natural knee-jerk inclination is like, I hurt, and my brother needs to hurt too, because he's a jerk, and I wanted so bad to move. Mom lights up with the kittens. She just, neurologically, the significance of being around loved ones and things like that. I understand the importance of all that. That's why I wanted him to help me, so Mom could be around Ellie, her granddaughter. They're both Sagittarius. Their birthdays are 3 days apart. Of all of the people in the family, they are most alike than anybody else. And they would have been best buddies, But because the withholder, my brother and I, we came from the same place. I became the consciousness of service for everyone. And he became consciousness of service for self. It's a pretty wild story, actually. Maybe it'll be one of those that are going down in history. Or herstory. That's stupid. That was just the episode of Northern Exposure when Maggie was ranting. That's probably where I got. I mean, it was just on. Where, oh, you mean history? And she's ranting. History, whatever. Dude, it's the liar's version. It's the person that's willing to cause the most harm to get what they want. They're the people that freaking write the versions of history in the storybooks. Yeah. They are. You were a once... That's cool. See, back then in 1987, and he was... Okay, so 87, and he was 96. But that's the thing, is just like... And so I knew the Operation Desert Storm was just us occupying. Just bull. And I remember when that kicked off, I was at watching it, the opening weekend. It was for Terminator 2. My brother just graduated from high school, and we walked out. And it had begun. And it's just like, none of this stuff is for any reason. And then I told the lady today at the hardware store, I'm like, I didn't even know the tower. And then when I was in Operation Iraqi bullshit, and I didn't even know that towers fell until like 10:30 that night, because we were deploying equipment so we could go off and bomb people that, you know, blame, because you gotta fucking blame what we fucking did to our own country on a dude in a fucking cave. It's bullshit. Just so stupid. So, and then when I was in Operation Iraqi bullshit, that's when I had my personal account of that's what it's all about. See those? Do you see all those? Those are all Humvees. It's a grainy picture because it's an actual, but those are all those are Humvees, and it went on forever. That was on the island of Crete. And I was like, that's why we're doing... So the fucking Humvee dealership can make... Oh, God, I don't even know back then. And I don't even know back then what... Because I wasn't, like... It's all a club. So people can make a lot of money. And those, it was just plane after plane after plane after plane just coming... That's when everything... That was like... That was after they went in and freaking just decimated. Just doing more shit. Doing this all karma, man. That's the thing, is like these people, they do this shit for ritualistic purposes. For their own freaking gain. They use people. You know, I just wanted to go and do my 6 years. Then I was for sure, there's no time ever that I was like, I'm going to do 20. Because I was just like, dude, this is, I will freaking put I was putting them on blast all the time. And I even got a DUI. On base. And I still, oh, here. Let's go kill people. Let's go kill people, make a lot of money. Come on, it'll be fun. And then all these fucking people are celebrated. It's so stupid. It's stupid. And then they celebrate with fireworks. I hate fireworks. They're not doing fireworks in New Mexico because that's another system that they use to freaking resource or freaking misappropriate funds, is they start forest fires and then they let them burn. You know, and then they knock on people's door. Okay, it's coming this way, go. They don't really do anything to put them out. The firefighters, they're having a lot of fun hanging out in Taos. There's always like, dude, everywhere I go, I'm like, hey, you think maybe they put out the fires if all these freaking firefighters that were just chilling here with their little souvenir bags and eating at Michael's, and hanging out at the hotels. Why don't you go fucking fight the fires? And the people that I talk with, Like, especially the guy at Taos Talk. He's like, I agree with you. I said, they do this to make money. You know, but us poor people, we fucking don't worship. Oh, the governor of New Mexico. Dude, I applied for food stamps like 3 weeks ago. Evidently requires a phone interview. In a city of 7,000 people, why would it take 3 weeks for me to get a fucking phone call? Because I don't matter. Because people like me don't matter. Because we already all got used up, you know. And see, and if you make people mad, then people act out. But see, I have a spiritual practice. Fortunately, I meditate, I pray. I'm always like, God, you know, take it, higher power, creator, higher power, something bigger than me that I'm not in control. And that somebody's got to take whatever, you know, because freaking life gets heavy. Life gets super freaking heavy. And the only medicine I do is flour. That's it. I don't take any prescription pills. I take supplements sometimes when I remember to. Every now and again, you know. And I look around and I look at all these people that are just freaking hopped up. There's so many nasty drugs out there that's just killing people, and booze is made to come back in the last couple of years, and that just freaking makes people vacant and takes your spirit, you know. It's just like, Marge, what has kept you from going towards that lifestyle in life? Creator. I don't want to succumb like everybody else does. You know, whenever I go out and I see people, I come home, makes me want to work out even more. Because I don't want to be like them. I don't want to give up on myself. I want to care enough about myself to try and become a better version of myself as I get older. Not worse. Not worse. On Dad's side, grandparents lived to be 86. They both 86 at 86. Mom's side, I don't know if she's adopted. She's in pretty good shape for 71. Even having a stroke at 38. She's still very healthy. I have no idea what the future holds for me. You know, I spend a lot of energy not being scared. Trying not to be scared. It's like oftentimes I feel like, if you could want to visualize what I feel like, my dad used to take us to the beach. We'd go body surfing in like Avila Beach, Pismo Beach, stuff like that, right? And then I'd have dreams about these walls. I always pictured not tsunamis as walls of water that came crashing down. And then when I found out that it's just water raising, I was like, well, that's a trip. But I always had these dreams. Probably I'm pretty confident it's past life stuff of walls of water coming and then just like staying right here, the crest right above me, just ready to just wipe me off the face of the planet, and then it subsiding and going back. Many days that's how I feel with fear, is that I'm just like doing, and the best thing I can do to keep from being fearful or anxious and things like that is just staying busy, which I always have stuff to do around here. Between Mom and the critters, and now all the little kittens are running around. We're kind of getting them on a routine, though. I just throw them in every few hours. I throw them in the bathroom where their food is and their litter box is. And I've only had one accident so far in the kitchen, which isn't bad for 5 little baby kittens. And I think Stanley's he's staying away from them. Mom loves them, though. I love them. They're fun to watch. They'll make good cats. I would love for them to get a good home. I'll just keep doing what we're doing until then. So, hi, Pita. You enjoy your weekend, and I'll enjoy mine. Oh, Benny's got in the side chair over here. I always like the engineers and stuff. Well, I was Luna. Oh, it's a little baby kitten. Luna likes to. She's a huntress. Oh, here's one. She's not in the mood. See, that's the thing is like, I'm good in war. I'm good in stressful situations where, because I've disassociated. I can just go on autopilot, handle it, and then process the emotion later. That's the important thing, though, is people got to process the emotions. They don't process the emotions. You have to process the emotions that get as deep as the oceans. Oh, little baby kitten. There's a limit on I'm not in the mood. Careful, Mom. I discovered Mom likes to put her hair ties on her wrist because her little wrists are so small. But I don't like it because it kind of chafes sometimes, and her little skin is getting she's in pretty good shape, but her skin is so fragile. And then like one of the little cats scratched it, and man, some people that's just how it is. You got to be careful because their little feet get dirty. So I gotta be extra careful. Just let it go, Ma, if it wants down. She likes to hold it, like, but it just stays there. Like, it'll stay there it was there earlier for a good freaking hour, just chilling. That's when you quit the armed forces. Thank you, Pita. I appreciate that for saying that. You have a lovely soul, too, because you recognize my soul based on aspects of your soul. Isn't that cool how that works? So, all in all, today was a pretty positive day. It's starting to get warm, so I went out and I freaking went to Tractor Supply. I went to, where else did I go? Tractor Supply, the hardware store, Taos Tack. We always have good conversation in here there. Today he gave me a lesson. I should record this stuff and make a short out of it on YouTube. Because the guy, he would be good at, I wonder, I think I asked him when I think he's a Cancer. I gotta ask him again when, I don't even remember his, anyway, I gotta ask him again. But he's like always showing me pictures of like meals that he makes and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, you could totally have a freaking social if that's, because he's a real social guy. He every time I go in there, I'm in there for like 10 minutes because we're having a conversation. I felt kind of bad today because he made a dude wait, and I thought. I don't know, when I thought the guy was looking at other stuff or something, but he made the guy wait because he was giving me an education on horse bits. On the horse bits, Ma. And that they get theirs from New Mexico, or from Mexico. He told me like 3 times, but he speaks fast, and the accent and dialect and stuff, I didn't really quite catch it, but they're just gorgeous. I'll take pictures of them and put them on make a little YouTube story or something with them, because I mean they have silver on them, and then they have copper on them because that encourages saliva. Copper does, so it's all inlay in there. They're really freaking cool. And he told me, like, he was describing how when you put the rope on this part and this part, that it has like less movement, and here, and he was giving me all the names of them of it, because they all have names. I don't remember them all now. You could like really have a class on horse bridles, but and the guy, he's had like freaking, all of his horses that he's had over the years, they're he did move away though. He hasn't lived here forever. He lived away. He lived elsewhere for like 27 years and came back. So sometimes we all have our place, we all have our place on this world, but I am definitely not of the rooted variety. I've been looking for roots my whole entire life. Huh, Ma? Looking for friends, looking for roots. You want me to let it down? Want to go up there? No, I'm not in a mood. So, with all the going around with all the, looking for peace and stuff like that, one of the greatest lessons that I've ever learned is just not to pick up the anger, not to carry it around. And what that means to me is I don't sit and brood and think about how mad I am at my brother because he didn't help us move closer. So we could do things like participate in Lexi's high school graduation. See, but somebody once told me that a lot of people don't want to remember their past. And so he is definitely one of those people. He doesn't want to remember anything having to do with our childhood. It's like he's blocked it all out. I tell stories all the time. He doesn't remember this. He doesn't remember that. Okay, that's fine. I fucking remember everything. And I have pictures and photo albums to prove it and stuff like that. But whatever. But he's blocked it out. And then, because I haven't. Because I remember it's just easier to just like, just let us go off to New Mexico, far away. And then they will never, and then now I can't even know where they live. Well, I found, see, I can't be spiteful. And sometimes, and this isn't even spiteful, but I found this on Facebook the other day, and I love this thing. And it says, it's by an unknown author. It says manipulation is when they blame you for your reaction to their disrespect. You see, and that's why I'm not allowed to know where they live, because he moved, and I can't know where they live because 2 years into me being in Oregon, and I couldn't get a job anyway. It was weird. It was like that was my ego deflation period. Where it's like I couldn't get a job in a gas station, but plus I couldn't leave mom for freaking hours either. So it worked out for the best. But I remember calling him, and he's like, "You haven't worked in 2 years," and we didn't have running water, and it was just, I was struggling. And I was just like, I didn't have anybody everywhere I look, I see people that they have their support systems. You can't resent people for things that they have and stuff, and things that you don't. I learned that a long time ago, too. But I just, because I reached out to him, he's like, "You haven't worked in 2 years," and I just flashed on, like, how much struggle and how much freaking disappointment and what a loser I already felt like and stuff. And he said that, and I just said, "You're a fucking piece of shit." And then he hung up on me, and then we didn't speak for like a year or something, year and a half, until I had to apologize. He didn't have anything to say to me until I apologized for defending myself. I don't apologize anymore. I'm done. It is so, but this is my life lesson to learn, is how to navigate through this life without getting angry, because anger kills people, man. People get mad, they're freaking, get yelled, they're freaking get aneurysms, have heart attacks, man, all kinds of crazy shit happen. Now everybody's freaking dropping like flies from these vaccines, and I was like, man, I need to be careful, because I'm ahead of the game with my 8 anthrax vaccines. I'm ahead of the game, so who knows what kind of fucking, I already know that there's formaldehyde in me, and there's studies that have been shown that formaldehyde causes ALS, so it's just like, no, can't be afraid of that, Marge. Live your life every day. And every day I look around and I see people, and I'm like, why aren't they happy? Why aren't they satisfied with they have all the stuff I don't. Why aren't they? And they're freaking, why aren't they happy? Because if I had everything that they had, I'd be happy. I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with getting content with with just the fact that we have a roof over our head and that we got an AC and the power's on and stuff like that. And I need to just sit in that vibe and not really to see, but that's what happens. I get so caught up in the earthly experience. Marge, your spirit, you're having a human experience, but I get so caught up. I compare my insides to other people's outsides and I screw myself every time. Maybe one day I'll stop. Until then, I'll just keep being me. It's about all I got for now. Hope